Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope I didn't scare you with that tactical entry right there. It was a straight up Metal Gear Solid entry. It's getting frigid where I live. It's getting cold, uncomfortably so. If you're down in Florida, I'm sure it feels fine. But here, it's getting chilly. So I figured let's talk designer fragrances for wintertime. More specifically, designer fragrances I will never stop recommending. With the big caveat, which is if they're discontinued and become impossible to find, I will stop recommending them. I learned long ago not to recommend fragrances that are impossible to find anywhere except for jacked up prices on eBay. So none of those. I will have each of the fragrances that I talk about here today listed in the description down below. And here's some codes. All right, enough of those codes. Get those out of here. You already know the drill. Watch any of the other videos, those codes are on there. I do want to say though, my new fragrances are launched. They are live, they are here. West Loop and Edgewater, the two new fragrances that I creatively directed for Michael Malul. You can find these fine specimens at Michael Malul's website, which is linked in the description below. You can use the code GENTSCENTS to take yourself a little cheddar off of the price of these. For a limited time, the price is 30% off with that code, which will bring these down to $98. The normal discount is 20% with that code. There is a video that I have on my channel where I talk about each one of these in more detail if you want to check that one out. I've got the perfumers, the notes, all that stuff in that video. But if you want to break it down real quick, Edgewater, fresh and green, zingy, lively, really versatile, good compliment puller, and so is this one. At least in terms of compliment pullers, so is this one. This one is more sweet, sexy, warm, a great one for fall and winter time, and each one quite unique as well. So both of these are out, check them out. Been a long time coming with those. And they'll be at every Perfumania and fragrance outlet store in the United States as well, so you can find them in stores also. Okay, let's do this, finally. Let's start the list off with Aeros Parfum from Versace. Now, some people would not think of Aeros Parfum as a wintertime fragrance, and indeed, you can wear this pretty much year round. I think you can even pull this off during the summer, although with the added caveat, that's apparently the word of the day, that if it's really hot and you're gonna be outside around a lot of people mingling and stuff, you can find something better to wear than this. But especially if you're in an air-conditioned office all day or something like that, or just in air conditioning in general, of course you can wear it during the summer. So Aeros Parfum is gonna be the most grown up of the Aeros line, and I think this stuff in wintertime just smells awesome. The scent cloud that this has, the scent trail that it leaves is just intoxicating. Even like when I'm wearing it, I want to smell myself, which yeah, is a little weird, but you know, that happens sometimes when you're wearing a fragrance that just smells too good and you're just like, I smell good. Yeah. Ooh, who's that? Ooh, that's me. I know it's weird, but you've done it. Don't even try to pretend you haven't. I would never do that. I would never smell my own scent trail. I wasn't smelling that. It still has a bit of that sweetness that Aeros is known for, but not as youthful, not as synthetic smelling, smells smoother, better blended. This is just fantastic. So Aeros Parfum in the wintertime, stunner. And there are gonna be a few fragrances in here that I haven't talked about quite as much as some of the others, because I wanted to have a good mix. Because while yes, maybe something like Stronger With You, absolutely, I have mentioned time and time again, and I will recommend that one going forward, there may be other fragrances that I don't bring up quite as much that I would still absolutely recommend. So wanted to include a couple of those. The next one I have loved ever since it came out, it is Valentino Uomo Intense, which this line has taken a hard left, and now it is the Born in Roma line, which has had two flankers this year, Rockstud Noir and Born in Roma Intense. So like this style of Uomo is almost a distant memory, but you can still find this. Absurd. It's got iris in here, a good amount of iris, and it's gonna remind you of stuff like Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Original, not 2020 of course, and then has a nice leather backing to it as well. It's not quite as makeup-y, lipsticky as Dior Homme and Dior Homme Intense, but it has just as much elegance to it, just as, you know, sophisticated smelling. It's sexy, it's unique compared to what most people are wearing. It's just For people like me that love Iris and their fragrances, this is just some of the best that's ever been put out there as far as designers go. And I would wear this all day, every day during winter time. Do be forewarned though that if you don't like that style of Iris, makeup-y, lipsticky, whatever you want to call it, creamy, maybe this would not be for you. Let's follow that with 1 Million Royal. Now I have to say 1 Million Royal is a fragrance that has grown on me. 1 Million Elixir has not really grown on me too much. 1 Million Parfum, while that one is a great compliment puller, 1 Million Parfum, that one also is not super duper to my liking, but 1 Million Royal, this is one that's grown on me a bit. Cardamom, benzoin, lavender, a little citrus in there, some of the notes in this guy right here. Of course, it is sweet, which you would expect. It's a 1 million, and frankly, most Paco Rabannes nowadays are sweet. They're sweet affairs. I'm trying to think of one that's like not really got much sweetness to it at all that's come out here over the past number of years, and kind of drawing a blank. So yeah, Paco Rabanne is kind of known for that stuff. But I think it works. I mean, it does have good performance. It's a compliment puller, gets attention, but you know, even with the sweetness here, I think it works. Yeah, it stands out a little bit. It's like it fits in with everything that's come out here lately, but then at the same time, doesn't really smell exactly like any of those fragrances. Actually might be somehow more on the unique side while still being very sweet compared to a lot of the stuff that's come out here lately. So I really dig this. It'd be good for an evening out, good for a date as long as you don't go too crazy heavy with it. It's really enjoyable. Next we have Man in Black from Bulgari, which I saw they have a new flanker of this one coming out apparently, so that's exciting. Or at least I'm pretty sure that I saw a new flanker for this one was coming out. It's possible that I dreamed that or imagined it, but I'm pretty sure. So this one has spices, it's got rum, it has leather, it's got tobacco, it has a strong similarity to Spice Bomb from Victor and Rolf, though between the two, I'm going Bulgari. Although it was nicer when this was cheaper, there was a point in time where it seemed like they couldn't give this stuff away. It was like fragrance net for 30 bucks or something like that. I ended up getting 2 bottles of the stuff. I had the smaller one and then a big old bottle because again, it was just really cheap. And I figured, why not? Price has gone up at discounters, unfortunately, but the fragrance itself is still fantastic. Like this is just one of the best wintertime scents out there. It's got everything you could want. Lots of spice, boozy sweetness, tobacco leaf, like I said, leather, it's just got it all, man. An amazing evening out scent with banging performance to boot, big compliment puller, and it has like a sexy, mysterious edge to it. Ah, great stuff. This next one is, it's Lancome Elixir. Now, this admittedly is a fall and wintertime fragrance, but to be honest, pretty much all of these you could wear interchangeably in fall or winter. I mean, it starts to get really cold at the end of fall. What are you wearing then? Pretty much the same stuff you'd wear during winter, right? This is a triumph. I just love this. Oh man, injected into my veins. It has vanilla, lavender, honey tonka, tobacco. Not a huge amount of tobacco, but just the way this is put together is just so good. As and when I'm filming this video, I have not yet done my top 10 releases for this year. A designer list of like what I think are the 10 best new releases. But I've got a sneaking suspicion that it's probably gonna win. It is just perfect. It's similar to Le Male de Parfum, but I feel like elevated. It's not as powdery. It has a great depth of like deep sweetness. So the way the sweetness comes across is not, screechy. It's not like a bubblegummy, kind of sweetness. It's grown up without smelling like something that only an older gentleman could wear, although they could wear it as well. I love it. I love it. And it looks cool too. Now this next one is hard to find. I apologize for that. It's the one Luminous Night from Dolce & Gabbana. And it's a pain, man. It's a pain in the butt to find this. And that sucks. I wish that this was easily found by everybody because scalpers will scoop this stuff up and they'll put it up on eBay for stupid prices. And I hate to see that. I looked just now and people on eBay are asking $300 a bottle. So yeah. Now I know I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not including anything that's discontinued and impossible to find. And this one skirts on the edge of that. It really does, because it is hard to find, but it does come into stock time to time at like Fragrance Buy and Joma Shop and stores like that. So it does come into stock. The problem is there's decent gaps between when it is in stock and typically it sells out really fast. So that's the pain with this one, and it is a pain. So you can go to like those websites and put in your email address and say be notified when it comes into stock, or you can just really keep your eyes peeled and, you know, hope for the best. But I will tell you that if and when you find this for a price that's not, you know, absurd, $300, just stupid, but when you find it for a price that's not absurd, this is amazeballs. It's one of those ones where honestly, like if you can find this for what the one typically goes for at retail, I don't care. I think this is worth it. So yeah, like what designers go for nowadays at retail, 120, 140, whatever. You find this for that, honestly, I think it's worth it. If you find it for less than that, that is a win all day, every day. Amber, incense, dates, some of the notes in the fragrance here. It is complex, it's rich, it's warm, it's super, super sexy and inviting and unique. I mean, man, like compare this to pretty much any other designer out there. This is a star. If you could readily find this, I would recommend this all the time, but I recommend it a little bit less often than I would because of the headache in getting it. And I'm fully aware that when I do videos, you know, and I make people aware of it, that more people are now looking for it, which is why I try not to feature it quite as often, like I said, as I would. But yeah, if you can find it, man. Then we got Fahrenheit Le Parfum. Love this little guy. A little bit easier to find this than Dior Homme Parfum. Though this one is also another one that's, you know, never gonna be cheap. I would say for what's out right now in the Fahrenheit line, that for the average person, this is probably gonna be the best one. It smells the highest quality, which it should. It's more expensive. It's the, you know, top of the line Parfum version, but it does have that quality feel to it, that quality smell. It's smoother than the original Fahrenheit. It has a nice sweetness underneath that the original Fahrenheit doesn't have, that bit of booziness that you get in here. It still has the essence of Fahrenheit. It's just made more palatable and made more, high-end, smooth, rich, elegant. Absolutely killer, fantastic. And if you love Fahrenheit, you have to check this out. Even if you don't love Fahrenheit, you have to check this out. All right, this is another personal favorite, Invictus Victory Elixir. Yeah. It's almost like, you know, 1A and 1B here. These are my dogs. Lamal Elixir and Invictus Victory Elixir. These are my Elixir dudes. That's good. Vanilla and Tonka is the name of the game here. Like the vanilla in here is just fantastic. It is that, you know, style of vanilla that's very popular right now. That kind of sparkly, you know, not too heavy, got that kind of like just little fresh touch to the vanilla, but it still has that sweetness and warmth, that style. And this one has a similarity to Le Beau Le Parfum from Jean Paul Gaultier as well. So you get that, that kind of semi-tropical, almost fresh sweetness that leads you into the dry down. It's just excellent. This is the full package. It's got the projection, it's got the longevity, the compliment factor. Like I said at the beginning of the video, that scent cloud that it has, that scent trail that it leaves, fantastic. Follow that with the most wanted. And you could go with either one of the most wanteds, the original or the Parfum. I go through so many tester strips just because I like some of these fragrances so much that every time I talk about them, I'm like, I want to smell that. I want to smell that too, and that. Oh man, I'm probably cutting down a whole forest because of all these little guys. Cardamom, Toffee, Amberwood. That's your note breakdown. Azaro hitting us with that Lazy Bones 3-note breakdown. It's in that stronger with you style, that stronger with you family of fragrances. So if you're familiar with how that smells and you've never smelled this, it's pretty close. The most wanted really ramped things up for this line. I think that Wanted by Night for most like fragrance people, if you want to call it that, kind of elevated it a bit, you know, gave it this unique fragrance, an interesting fragrance. Wanted Tonic, I don't know about that so much, but then the Most Wanted just kind of catapulted it. And I think this is one of the best fragrances on the market in the current style of stronger with you type scents. And another one that I don't have in today's list that's also very, very good is Scandal from Jean Paul Gaultier. That one is really nice for getting just basically everything right. Last but not least is Tom Ford's Ombre Leather Parfum. Good old Tom Ford. Will Tom Ford ever release a fragrance that's somewhat affordable? No, I don't think so. That's not his style. Now, Ombre Leather, the original, one of the most wearable leather scents on the market. It's just, you know, that type of leather that nobody has a problem with. It's smooth, it doesn't have anything animalic, nothing too dark, nothing medicinal, nothing weird, no Band-Aid smell, nothing like that. A little bit of sweetness, the florals in there are well done. Ombre Leather is good, really good. And then we got this guy, which just as good, if not better, in price here. Yeah, more expensive. So this one, of course, has leather in it. It has woods, violet, jasmine, and a bit of iris as well. So it's got this nice sweetness that helps smooth everything out even more. It's very interesting because it's got great performance, lasts a long time, really long time, projects quite well, but then it also has kind of an airiness to it. You know, it has a little freshness off the top, never feels like a dark, heavy leather, which if you've never smelled this and you see it's, you know, ombre leather in this dark bottle and it's the Parfum, you might think, well, it's probably got like a smoky, heavier side to it, but it really doesn't. It carries this airiness all throughout while still having great performance, which is one of the things that does help it be so wearable. So there we go. These fragrances, these, right? Yeah, these are very good. I think during the winter, if you had these, just these, man, you would have just a killer lineup. You would be set for any situation and you would just be smelling abso-freaking-lutely amazing. So there we go. 10 fragrances I'll never stop recommending until they are unceremoniously killed off and made impossible to find. Then I will stop recommending them. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. I'll see you guys later.